What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hi PSI TV. We're back in my shop today and we're going to talk about wheel backspacing and wheel offset. Alright, so for those of you who follow the channel, you know I was involved in a four-wheeler accident at a race about 3 weeks ago. So I'm still in this lovely back brace and still can't really work on anything. Limited use of my right arm, so it's hard for me to wrench on anything, but I figured I could do a quick video explaining the difference between backspacing and offset when you're talking about wheels. And I can also show you how to measure it real quick. So we have the whiteboard out here in the shop today, and I have a Corvette wheel that I'll show you how to measure on. But what we'll do is we'll start with the whiteboard and we'll start with real simple numbers so that you guys can get an understanding of what offset and backspacing is. Alright, so we got the whiteboard here, and like I said, we're going to talk about backspacing and offset. So backspacing is kind of the old school way that people used to measure wheels and the width versus how they mount to the car. So what backspacing is from the back edge of your wheel where the tire is going to mount to the mounting pad of the wheel. So this distance from here to here, this would be the outside, this would be the inside. I should write that on there. Alright, so what backspacing is the measurement from the inside of the wheel to the mounting pad on the wheel. What offset is the measurement from center line to the mounting pad of the wheel. So we have two different wheels here. This one we'll use for offset, this one we'll use for backspacing. So backspacing is the old school way of doing things. So how do you measure your backspacing? Well, what you need to know first is the width of your wheel. So since it was an old school way of doing it, we'll use an old school wheel width. We'll say 6 inches. Alright, so if you have a 6-inch wheel, what you need to do to find your backspacing is measure from the outside edge of the wheel to the mounting pad. So let's say this is 3 inches. So just as simple as that, that's how you measure backspacing. So the overall width of your wheel doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is from the inside edge of the wheel, so this would be the inside of the car, to the mounting pad of the wheel. That's backspacing. And I'll show you that on the wheel right now. Alright, so what we have here is a Corvette rear wheel. Now I know this wheel is 12 inches wide. Most wheels, when you get up to this width, are going to be in inch increments. You're going to have a 10 inch, 11 inch, 12 inch, or you could be in a half-inch increment. It's very rare that you're going to have a 1/4 inch increment. So, like I said, for the old school stuff, we're measuring backspacing. So I know I have from where the tire mounts to where the tire mounts is 12 inches. Alright, the next step, now that we have the wheel laying down, is we need to measure from the back edge of the wheel down to the mounting surface. And this is easier to do if you don't have a tire on the wheel, because you can see it holds it up a little bit. But this will show you guys how you need to measure. So you can see the backspacing on this wheel is about 8 7/8 of an inch. So this is going to be how you measure backspacing. Alright, so now we're going to move over to offset. So wheel offset is the distance from the center line of the wheel to the mounting pad. So you can have a positive or a negative offset. A positive offset is going to be what we have here. So I'll write positive here, we'll write negative here. A positive offset means that the mounting flange is going to be towards the outside of the wheel. A negative offset means the mounting flange is going to be towards the inside of the wheel. So to keep this easy, we're going to say this is a 10-inch wheel. So that means the center line of the wheel would be at 5 inches. So now what we need to do is measure from the center of the wheel to the mounting pad. Or what you can do is from the back of the wheel to the mounting pad and subtract 5 inches. So normally offset is done in millimeters. A lot of truck guys, you get a positive 10 or a positive 44 offset. It's a little bit easier in the new age of stuff to do stuff in millimeters. That way you're not 8 3/4 inches or 6 5/8 of an inch. Millimeters gives a little bit easier understanding. So what we'll say here is we have a positive 44 offset. So what that means is from the center line of the wheel to the mounting pad is 44 millimeters. So what we'll do is we'll sit here and we'll picture this. This is the inside of the wheel, this is the outside of the wheel. As you move your offset in and out, positive or negative, it changes where the wheel is going to sit in relation to the hub. So if you have a big positive offset, that means the wheel's going to sit further inside. If you have a big negative offset, that means the wheel's going to sit further outside. So for the truck guys that have, you know, the American Force wheels and they stick way out, that's going to be a big negative offset, and that's going to stick the wheel out further. And what I'll do at the end of this video is I'll link a couple websites that explain this with different diagrams and actual wheels. But I hope this gives you guys a little bit of an easy understanding. So if you have a 10-inch wheel, your center line is going to be at 5 inches. If you have a positive offset, that means it's going to be 5 inches plus 44 millimeters. Or if you're doing it the hard way, convert 5 inches to millimeters, measure from the back of the wheel to the mounting point, and add everything together. So if you need to measure a negative offset, you measure from the back of the wheel to your mounting flange. Then you take 5 inches minus your measurement, and that's your negative offset number. Now what I'll do is show you how to measure offset on this wheel. All right, now what I'm going to try to do is put numbers up here as I do my math. So this is going to be for measuring offset. First thing we need to know is the width of the wheel. We know this wheel's 12 inches wide. So if you have a 12-inch wheel, that means the center of the wheel is going to be at 6 inches. The next measurement we have is 8 7/8 of an inch. So what we need to do is convert 8 7/8 of an inch to millimeters. This gives us from the back of the wheel to the mounting flange in millimeters. The next thing we need to do is convert 6 inches to millimeters. And then we'll do the math across the top of the screen. And this will give you your wheel offset. So I know this can be a little bit confusing. I hope doing this on the whiteboard and actually measuring on a wheel helps. But like I said, the main thing is this is the old school way to do it. This is the new school way to do it. A little bit more math involved in finding your offset, but you can figure it out relatively easy by converting inches to millimeters, or it's a lot easier if you have a tape measure that reads in millimeters and centimeters, which I don't have at the house, so we do the simple math across the top of the screen. So I'm sorry I don't have a little more action for you guys. Like I said, been in the back brace for 3 weeks. I got about 3 more weeks to go. Healing well, for those of you who watch the channel and always ask. I appreciate it, and I am doing good. I'm just taking Tylenol now, no more heavy medication for me. So I plan on being back working full-time in 3 weeks, and I plan on doing more action videos, getting back to racing in about 3 weeks. I'm going to take it easy, so I'm going to try to do a little more whiteboard videos and keep it a little bit more low-key. But don't forget, guys, always help support the channel. There's a link in the description below for merchandise, and I'll keep these videos coming to you the best I can. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.